Welcome to 3-week workshop on programming in C++. In this video, I'm going to explain the concept of a looping statement. It is also called as a repetition or iterative statements. So I think in a previous video we had a discussion on general implementation strategies for implementing a paradigm. So we know that the looping is a very important implementation strategy for implementation of our logic. So I think you know that in a sequence, the statements will not be executed. It will be executed only once and without skipping any statement. But in case of a branching statement, the statement, it means only the particular set of cases will be executed only once, and the set of statement, maybe some set of cases will be skipped. In a repetition statement, the word itself, it says that you are going to repeat some particular set of statement for more than once. So that is called repetition statements. So normally, as a programmer, if you want to implement the concept of a looping statement, so we must be aware about the three basic rules before going to select any kind of a loop. Now, first of all, we must to identify the initial, that is a loop variable. The loop variable means that the variable which controls the execution of the loop is called as loop variable. So for that loop variable, we must to identify the proper initial value. Second one is we need to define the proper condition. And third one is loop variable modification. It means that the loop variable must be changed every time the loop is executed. If the loop variable is not changed during the execution of the loop, then automatically it goes for infinite and the program will not be terminated, so that it will not satisfy the basic condition of the algorithm. So once again repeat. So if you want to apply the concept of looping, we must to identify, the first step is we need to identify the loop variable. Means that the variable which controls the entire execution of the loop is called a loop variable. For that loop variable, we need to define an initial value. Second one is a condition. And third one, loop variable modification. I mean changes of the loop variable. Okay. So this is a basic rule. So in C++, there are three types of looping statements will be supported. One is a while loop, do while loop, and third one is the for loop. So the first one is a while loop. So while loop is also called as a top tested loop. So the statements inside, present inside of the while loop, that is called actions, will be executed 0 or more times. Here, why we call as a 0 means the condition is tested at the top. It means that the loop, before enter into the loop, the condition will be evaluated. But means we know that the conditions can be evaluated based on by using the relational and logical operators. So if the condition is true, then the action, the statement inside of the loop is executed. But in case if the condition is false, simply it will come out of the loop. So means this is a general procedure. So just I'm going to show with the help of some example program. So see that just I'm going to create a one sample program. So here I'm going to explain with the help of main function. You have to apply it in anywhere. It may be a function or it may be a class definition. It may be we can apply it anywhere. So just I'm going to define it one simple value. For example, I want to print Government College of Engineering. So Government College of Engineering. Okay, so we know that just for getting a clear output, just I'm using clear screen getch. That is the optional part of the program. So you know that what is the need for this, a clear screen and getch already. So but the getch and the clear screen is optional part. Okay, so now our logic is, our action part is, executable part is the Government College of Engineering. So this is our executable part. Okay, let us execute. I'm going to run the program. So it will show that it is a Government College of Engineering. Okay, assume that I want to print this Government College of Engineering for 5 times. So what we need to do is, either we have to define the Government College of Engineering here itself, or otherwise, so we are defining here, and we have to copy this statement for 5 times. So I'm going to enter. So totally it shows it is 6 times. Okay, no problem. So just I'm going to run the program. An issue. So, but see here, the same action, the same statement is repeated for more than one time. For example, if I need only 2 times, what you will do? Again, you need to delete all the remaining the 4 times, and you are keeping 2 times as an action part, and you are going to execute. So just you can run this program. You will get as a Government College of Engineering as in 2 times. But here the problem is, it means that for every time, see if you must alter the code before execution of your program. It means that you need to decide how many number of times the your action part needed, and you are copying those action part for more number of times, and you are practicing. Actually, in real time, it is not possible because as a user, the program will not be shown to us. So that the program means that the program means the user, you cannot be able to edit the entire code. So if the code is not shown the user, then as a user, how can you change your code? That's a question. And it is a very difficult for the user, even if they did a small mistake, then it's a very difficult. Maybe it will get an error, or maybe it leads to some problems. So here, so that we are choosing for the repetition statement. See that the same statement, one there is no changes on this line. The same line is repeated, so that we are go for repetition structure. Okay, so now we identified what is the action part wants to repeat. So this is the action part I want to repeat, and also I need a slash at the end. I'm using slash and a at the end. Okay, so now this is the action part I need, but this action part we won't need to be repeated for more number of times. So what we need to do is, so first of all, we have, so it is a repetition structure. So for a repetition structure, we need to apply, first of all, the first step is we need to identify the loop variable. So we know that it is a loop variable. So sorry, it will be it's a comment line, comment section. I need to identify the loop variable. For example, so we know what is a variable. Variable is a value which means it is a memory it's a named memory location in which the values can be changed at any time. So I'm saying that for my variable name is count. So that this is my count. Okay, so as a programmer, you can do in a mathematical thing. So here, if the one time is executed, so for example, so if it is like that, if it is executed one time, you can count it as 1, then you can say counted as 2. So like that you are doing, correct? Okay, so I'm going to set the initial value. Normally, always the count start with 0. Everyone have a count is 0, but the initial value depends on the programmer. So that I'm going to decide that my loop variable is count. For the count variable, the first rule is I need to find the initial value. So I'm saying initial value is 0. And the second one, I need to decide the condition. Assume that I want to execute for only 5 times. So the count value is start with 0, so that it is less than 5. So 0 it will work 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is less than 5. And third one is I need to modify the looping. So count means that initially the value of the count must be 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. So that the difference of number is 1. So that count equal to count plus 1, or otherwise we have to write like this, count plus plus. We can use increment operator. So here the preferable choice is increment operator. Okay. So because increment operator have a less, means a good efficiency compared to addition operator. So if you know microprocessor, you know how much, why it is an efficiency. Okay, so now I'm going to select a loop. We know that is a while loop. So according to the syntax, what the condition we need to write, what is the condition we have decided? It is a 5. And the executable part must be as a part of your looping statement. And the modification also as a part of the looping. So I'm using count plus plus. And the initialization must be before the start of the loop. So always the initialization must be taken before the starting of the loop. So the initial value of count equal to 0. So I need a memory allocation for that. So it is an integer variable. So I'm going to define. I'm going to compile and I'm going to run the program. See that it will be executed for 5 times. So the first of all, we must to know how the looping will execute. Initially the count is 0. So now you have to test it 0 less than 5. So condition is true. That means it is replaced by 1. You know that it is replaced by 1 means the condition is true. See that I can show it is easy way. I'm going to put a 1 and I'm going to compile it so that the condition is always true. So that condition is always so that it is called unreachable code. Because always the loop will be executed, will not skip. So count less than 5. Okay. So 0 less than 5 true. So that it will execute out and count plus plus. So it will be changed as 1. So that now the count value is 1, the 0 is erased and now 1 will be replaced. 1 less than 5 true, executed 2. Again 1 will be replaced by 2. Then now 2 less than 5 true, 3, 4 and 5 less than 5 condition false. Once the condition false, it count out of the loop. So come out of the statement which is after the next looping statement. So clear? So okay, now you can see that the execution of the looping by using F7 key. We know that always the execution starts from a main. So this is a single entry point for a program. So now the initialization will be executor. And I'm going to start checking the condition. Cout will be executor. Then the count plus plus will execute. Then count equal to 1. So now count condition true. Again the looping statement action will be executed. Now count equal to 2. 2 less than 5 condition is true. The statements are executed. Then count equal to 3. Count condition true. So a loop statement will execute. Action will taken. Count equal to 4. Again the condition is true. The loop statement will execute. Then count equal to 5. The condition false. Condition false means the control goes to the next line of the looping statement. Here the next line of a looping statement is getCH. It goes to the getCH and work. Clear? But here the curly brace is must because here we have 2 actions. If you have a single action in our program, so simply you can eliminate it. You can no need to use curly brace. Clear? Okay. So just a minute, I can save this a program. Okay, so now it's saved. Okay, so now I'm going to execute. Just a minute. Okay. It will execute Alt F5, so it shows an output, no problem. Okay, here the thing is, instead of this a 5, for example, if the user wants, here user wants to get set a limit. For example, that the limit is called n. So that means I'm going to set a maximum number of times that will be executed. So cout. So enter the value, enter the limit. So maximum how many number of times you want to execute. So I'm going to read the input from the user. So it's okay. Now I'm going to run it. I'm going to set it as 5. So it will be executed 5 times. So same way I'm going to run it. I'm going to give 10. 10 times will be, here I forgot to change the value of n here. So the upper limit n instead of this a 5. I'm going to set it as 10. It goes 10 times. Again, I'm going to run. I'm going to set as 0. The loop will not be executed. So that only I'm saying that the while loop will be executed 0 or more times. So that while loop is also called as top tested loop. Clear? Okay. So in case if I'm unable to set the initial value, I told that even here the while loop will not cover condition for it not make any errors if that looping part is initialization not take place. So we know that in a C++ in C++ the local variable we don't have any initial variable so that it takes a garbage value so that we will not get the expected output. That it won't execute out because we don't know what is the value of count, so that it is a garbage value. For example, if you want to know the value of count, so initial value of count is, but here I didn't define any value, so that just you can check it. I'm going to define find. So the initial value of count will be shown. It is 1536. It is a Corbage value. Clear? So that always condition is false. So we can't know what is the value inside of that. So that we are unable to know whether the condition is true or false. So so that means if you are giving means if you are not given an initial value, so your expected output leads to failure. And if you are given a wrong value, for example, I'm going to say count equal to 4. I'm going to run it. I'm going to give 5 times. It will print only 1 times. So that you will not get the expected output. So that we need to identify the proper initial value. Based on the initial value, you need to decide a execute. Means you will, sorry, otherwise it will not give a exact expected output. Okay. So for example, I'm going to give 1. It will execute it, but it means number of, means it will be minus 1 time less. So that if it is given equal to 1, then you can give equal to n. So that you need to identify the proper initial value. Based on the initial value, you have to set it, means write a condition. Clear? Okay, well, I will explain another one more thing here. It will display 76 times. Okay, so, and the next thing is it is a count plus plus. Okay, for example, we know that if the initialization not takes place, then it's a problem. And also if the condition is not set correctly, for example, I'm going to set greater than n. Unfortunately, I get a wrong answer. Means a wrong way of the condition. I'm going to say condition is n. So condition is always a false. So the condition is very, very important. Always the lower limit less than or equal to upper limit. That is a very easy way. And if that continuous, this counting is missing, for example, the modification part is missing, you know that always the condition is true because count equal to 1, then count less than or equal to 1. It means that count is 1 less than, assume n equal to 5. 1 less than or equal to 5, always condition is true, so that it go for infinite execution. For example, I'm given 5, still it goes on, it cannot break. It go for infinite execution, so that if you are not unable to set the value of the modification value, always the loop go for infinite. So that always when you are going to setting a looping, the modification must be there. The modification doesn't mean that always increment and decrement. You have to define any type of increment and decrement. That is our choice. Our choice, so that we have to give a proper modification part. So I think from this, you know that without, if you are not putting a modification part, always our program leads to an infinite execution. So that if your programming causes infinite execution, surely there is a problem in maybe an initial value, or maybe in a modification part, or maybe a problem in condition. Only on this area. So, so now you have some idea about a looping. So just a minute, I can open it. I can give a different way. Okay, for example, I'm thinking that I'm going to set as 0, but I'm not interested to go with incrementation value. I'm going with count plus 5. Clear? So that here I need to say that n star 5. That's all. Finish. So I mean, here I want to execute only 5 times, so that count is 0. I need to increment by 5. So that here I'm going to say it is a 5. I mean, sorry. So here that our values not stored. In C++ also, the declaration must be taken place before the action part, not like as Java. I'm going to run a program. I'm going to give 5. It shows 5 times. So here doesn't mean that the modification may be anything. Maybe you can take it as a 10. And you can say that n value is a limit, so that you can multiply with 10. So means you want to print the 5 times, so that you can increment by 10. That is our choice. Yeah? Okay, for example, I want to display the number like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to n. If I want to display like this, see that if this kind of a series, what is the initial value? It is a 1. So the count method start with 1. What is the limit? I want to display up to n. So you have to put slash n. And see what is the difference between this every number? It is a 1. So that the count will be increased by 1. So now compile. No problem. Then I'm going to run a program. 5. Sorry. I want to print the value instead of this a comment. So I want to print the value of count because the count is only store the value. I'm going to run it. So I'm going to give 5. It will display 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, for example, if I want to display like this, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So here the starting value by 2 and end with 2 and the condition is n star 2. Or if you want to display only for n times, so for example, I want to display 5 numbers in the series, it will display. But I am expecting that I want to display X like this. Then simply you can say n, it's enough. Depends on the series we have to define. It will define only 2 and 4 up to 5. Clear? Okay. In case I'm going to define, I want to display like this: n, comma, n minus 2, comma, 2 means 4, comma, 2. It means 6, comma, 4, comma, 2. Means I want to display in a reverse order. So that it is, so start with n. So you are in a reverse order, highest to lowest. So that you have to say the lowest end is 0. And you are a reverse in minus 2 because n minus 2, like that you are in a reverse order. Now you can compile. No problem. Next I'm going to run a program. I'm going to give 10. So to display 10, 8, 6, 4, line 6. For example, if I want to display, so I'm given a negative, means that what is if it is odd number, so it will be displayed in odd number series. So based on that, we have to decide what it is. So from that, what you understand that with the help of this looping, so we can repeat the statement for 0 or more number of times. The thing is, if that once the working principle is if the looping condition is true, then the statement will execute. If the condition is false, automatically the control will be transferred to the loop, the next statement of the looping. So here if the next statement is a get ch, automatically the control will be transferred here. Okay, so now goes to that. Now you know that if the initialization is missing, maybe you will not get an expected output. If the condition is not a proper, you will not get an expected output. So the modification is missing, go for infinite looping. Okay, so next one, it is a for loop. Normally the working principle of for loop and while loop are same. So only the differentiator in the syntax. Normally in industry, people always, normally as a programmer, many of them is suggested to go with the for loop. I will tell you the reason. So, and here you must clearly understand that the initialization is worked only one time. Condition is worked for n plus 1 times. That is n times for condition true and 1 time for condition false. So that it is n plus 1 times. And the action part will be executed for n times. Okay. So here for the looping also the same thing. I want to replace a for loop with a so while I can change from while loop to for loop. See the syntax for loop: for initialization followed by the condition followed by the modification part. Inside of it, we are going to define the action. So here in a for loop, so I want to replace it. It is a while loop. You know that the syntax is for initial statement. So initial statement, I want to write a condition, and the loop variable modification. We know the loop variable modification is count equal to kind minus 2. Only the action must be state neither, while no need for any modification part inside of the for loop. So now the working principle of your for loop is similar to while loop. You know that always the initialization will take place. It will work for only one time. Then it comes to the condition part and it will be executed. If the condition is true, then it will execute the looping statement. Once it reaches the end of the statement, end of the looping, then it goes to modification part. Then after the modification is over, again it come back to the looping condition. Again, if the condition is true, the loop statement will execute. Then it reaches the end of the statement. If the once the end of the statement is reached, again it go for modification part. Once the modification is over, then again it comes to condition. So if the condition is false, then automatically it to the next statement of the looping. It comes to the looping HCH. So this is the difference between, this is the working principle of for loop. Now I'm going to compile. No error. Then I'm going to give 5 so that it display in the reverse order. Because we return the logic for the reverse order. Okay. So in case, actually why we have preferred means that, so each and every section, that is all initialization, modification and conditions. If you are put a forget to comma, that means a semicolon. So it shows an error message. So we know that once if you want to apply the concept of looping, so we need we need a three basic statement. Otherwise, you will not get some problem for getting an expected output. So if you are using a do while loop, initialization and modification not an important part. This is an optional part, so that even if there is a possible, even though if you forget to include it, no error will be generated. But here it is not like that. And next one is, even you can define n number of assignment by separating comma. For example, if you want to define I equal to 0 like j equal to 0, we can define. And also we can define like this. Even n number of modification also possible, like j plus plus, like that it's possible. Because the for loop allow this. So that we are always in an industry people, and even as a programmer, always they are preferring to go with for loop. So I think now you understood why we are going for loop and all. So, but the working principle of for loop and while loop is same. Only it's differentiated in syntax. And then it's for the reason for preferring a for loop is for more than means all three basic conditions for applying a looping is defined in a single statement, single line. Even if any one of the line is missing, it shows an error message. And also more than one initialization and more than one part is possible here. So that only we prefer to go with the looping statements. So, okay. So now I will go with the do while statement. Actually, do while statement is the reverse of a while. Actually, it is a bottom tested loop. It means that the condition will be tested at the bottom. And the next thing is it will be executed more than one time. Means one or more time, but actually while loop is executed 0 or more time. But here the do while is executed 1 or more time. It means that before checking a condition, one time the looping statement executed without checking a condition. Okay, so the same only same condition, but here the do while is terminated with a semicolon. So otherwise the compiler makes an error message. Now I want to replace. So the syntax is initialization. So we know that initialization is count equal to n. So I want to replace start with do. So then followed by action pan. Action is printing. Then modification we need to define. So count -2. Then at the end we need to define a looping condition. So while. So the condition is. So it is a reverse condition. So it is a greater than 0 and must terminate with a semicolon. So first I will show the output first. So no error, but I'm going to run a program. If I'm going to give 5, it will give the answers, no problem. But actually if I'm giving a wrong input, for example, for example, 0, even though it will print 0, but actually 0 is not a part because the condition is false. So that even though if the condition is false, the loop statement will be executed only once, minimum once. Yeah, because just a minute, even if you are forgot to put a semicolon, it makes an error message as do while statement missing. Do while statement missing means you forget to put a terminations. So here the working principle is, it is similar to while loop, but only thing is it is a bottom tested loop. So reading a value, for example, I'm going to say 5. So now initialize as a count 5, n equal to count equal to 5. So now it will be printed as 5. So now it is count -2. -2 means it is 3. So now it tests the condition 3 greater than 0. Condition is true. So it is again, it printed 3. Then now count equal to count -2. So 3 - 2, 1. Now count is 1. So condition is true. So it will print 1. 1 - 2. So the answer is -1. So condition is false. So automatically it goes to the next line after do while statement. Clear? So that just you can see that simple understanding, just I can putting a high statement. I'm going to run, means I'm going to give a, means the value of n is negative. According to that, I don't want to print anything, but actually to print something high because of this do while. So that if you, whenever you are going for any, means any application, first to try to understand how many number of cases you need to execute. So if you think that based on the condition, if the statement need to execute, then you can prefer to go with either while or for loop. But if you are, if you think that without checking condition, if you want to execute the looping statement minimum once, you can go with a looping, do while loop statement. Okay, so here I want to say another one more. Actually, the looping statement are classified into two types. One is counter control loop and the sentinel control loop. If you are saying a counter control loop, the number of times the loop execution is decided at the runtime, it means the compile time itself. For example, if I want to print 1 to 5, so it's easy to understand, equal to 5. I don't need to worry about getting an input. So that we know that here, how to say that? So here it will be printed, the loop will be executed 5 times. Everyone knows that. At the time of writing a program itself, the user knows that the programmer knows that the loop will be executed 5 times. Clear? So then it is called as a counter control loop. It means that at the time of writing a program, if the user knows how many, the programmer knows how many number of times the loop statement is executed, then it is called as a counter control loop. Means that if the upper limit is fixed, then if the user knows, so it is called a counter control loop. But in case it means that the looping condition is depends on a variable, both are variable, then it is called as sentinel control. Sentinel, sentinel controlled loop. It means that the number of times the loop execution is not known at the time of running a program. Even though means that while if I'm giving running a program, maybe if I give it 2, only it execute 2 times. So that we must, while at the time of running only, we know that how many number of times the loop statements are executed. So that it is called as sentinel control loop. So I hope from this you have some clear idea about looping statement. Thank you.